My daughter's 7 years old. I've let her believe what she wants in reference to religious things. A couple years ago, I was introduced to Seth, and I really like the material that I've read there. And she had an interest in going to a local church based upon some of her friends went there, and she has an interest in the church. And I take her to the church service, and she says, on the way home, I don't believe this. I don't believe the outline, whatever's there.
She doesn't believe what's happening at church?
The church and what the church is teaching. And I haven't guided her in any direction as to what to do, believe, say, because I kind of have the idea that God is energy, everything is God. We're guided in how you're teaching us as far as our energy, our beliefs. Do you have any advice in that area?
Well, we would say to her something like this. You're really smart. I've noticed that. And if there's anything that I want you to know that I've noticed, I think you can trust the way you feel. And I don't know anything, say to her, that is all just right. There's wanted and unwanted in everything. And I really think that that's why we're here, is so that we can sort of figure out what works for us. And I think we're also different because different things work for different ones. And I think that whatever it is that they're teaching in that church or that church or that church or that church or that church, I think it's all coming from a good place. And I just wouldn't ask anything to fit every place because every place is different. Now, to bring this really home in a strong way to you, someone gave Jerry some Seth books. That's how they got into all of this. And Esther didn't want anything to do with it. It was too weird for her. And so he read the books himself, and every now and again he'd read something that he thought might resonate with her, and he'd read it, and she'd say, oh, that sounds right, and that sounds right. That was the gentle beginning of all of this. And so as Esther began allowing herself to allow those like you to have this experience that she thought was so weird, she made Jerry promise he wouldn't tell anybody. He kept that promise for a little while, but not for very long. And then it sort of caught on, and then it started to feel better and better and better and better and better. And then people would come and they would ask questions that they had heard from other teachers or other places, and they would feel uncomfortable with our different approach to it. And Esther would, in privacy with us later, say, Abraham, why are those other teachers lying to those people? Because they're telling them stuff that you're not telling us. And we said if everyone were in exactly the same place, then exactly the same teacher would be exactly perfect. But people are all in different places, asking different things, standing in different points. And so what we really want you to know, so that you can find a way to express it to your sweet one, is that your inner being, her inner being, knows right where she is in relationship to everything she wants, and is calling her in this delicious path of least resistance into all that she is wanting to be. And you can't be someplace that you're not. In other words, you are where you are. That's why if you can get this, if you can understand that someone that you encounter is where they are, and don't fight where they are, because where they are is all right. Their inner being understands where they are in relationship to where they want to be, and everybody doesn't want to be where you want to be. Their inner beings are calling them in the path of least resistance to where they are wanting to be. And if you can make that all right with yourself and help your little one for it to be all right with her, oh, what a glorious environment this becomes as people get to find their own way to who they are becoming. And the reason that this is so important is because who you are becoming is a moving target. Do you know how you have evolved in the little bit of time that we've been here together today? You're much more ready to allow yourself to receive the things that have been raining down around you that you've been resisting because you didn't really realize what you were doing with it. And you didn't feel your worthiness or readiness a few hours ago as much as you do right now. You have changed. Your point of attraction has shifted. And everybody on the planet, their points of attraction are shifted depending on what they're watching on television or what they're living or what they're observing. But in all of that, people are living, launching rockets of desire, becoming more than they currently are, and being lovingly called to the path of most allowance or the path of least resistance by their inner being. And anything that you can ever say to anybody that helps them more and more to understand how blessed they are, how wise they are, how worthy they are, and how seen they are, that's just the best thing that you can help anybody understand.